What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Man, what an interesting conversation to have. Madden 19, we all know Rex Dixon left EA Tiburon earlier this month, released a statement that talked about the game going in a different direction, and now we're kind of seeing how that direction shapes. We learned last night through Rex's Twitter that Clint Oldenburg was promoted to lead gameplay designer, which to me is a great move. I championed Clint for a very long time. I know he's blocked some of you on Twitter, and you're very upset about that, but for the most part, Clint has been very transparent, very open with the community, and that communication is the base that we need to get this game better. Now, the concern that I have is what's also happened, because we all know Rex Dixon was a sim football guy. Now, Carlos Guerrero has came in as the senior producer for Madden, and in my opinion, at least from what I know, he is not a hardcore sports gamer. He actually comes from Blizzard Entertainment, which makes games like Overwatch and World of Warcraft really known for their online competitive gaming circuits. So when you take a look at what EA has done recently with the Madden Challenge, they've kind of delved into that esports world. So it's logical that they would go out and get someone that's very ingrained and has an extensive background in esports to push Madden. But again, we have to take this with the understanding that Rex Dixon is out the door saying, hey, things aren't going in the same direction that I was, and you have to wonder, how does a gameplay mode like franchise fit into competitive gaming? You mean to tell me that you're going to have two people load up a franchise and then use what basis to see who's better, and this is somehow going to be watched by people on TV, by the same people that would watch two random people play Madden to begin with? It's just very odd to me that we have kind of this chemistry between the team changing, with one person saying, hey, this isn't the direction I wanted to work in, and then now all of a sudden we see somebody from a totally different field. I mean, Carlos, again, only been with EA since August of last year, and now he's going to produce basically what to most people, maybe not to the hardcore sim gamer, but to most people, Madden is a traditional sports title. So this could be something that, in my opinion, kind of shows that slow death of connected franchise, and that slow, and maybe some cases maybe not so slow, ingraining of esports, and obviously with that comes more microtransactions, because let's be honest, those are things that World of Warcraft is famous for, is the microtransactions, and we all know that EA has not strayed away from that. Now, I would be remiss to also say some other concerns that I have about this is the lack of talk in the Madden community about this. I mean, let's be fair. There are some YouTube commentators here that are directly connected with EA. They really haven't came out and spoke about these things, and that concerns me as well. I mean, I guess in a way, I don't really know the direction that Carlos is going to take this game, and I hope that, as time goes on, maybe me and him can have an open line of communication the way I've had with many other people at EA, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to sit here and not express my concerns forthright before I even speak to this guy publicly, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to commentate. And if his direction is to set aside everything that he learned with every other massive multi-online player game that he has, and broaden his horizon as a producer and work on a hardcore sports title and make it a simulation football title, and he feels that he has the credentials and capability to do that, then as a community, we should be welcoming this guy with open arms. But to me, I know that we had a guy in that position that stepped away concerned about the direction of the game, and then someone was brought on in his place that is honestly 360 degrees in the other direction. It's a nice move that Clint gets pushed up to kind of steer the game to a simulation football direction, but if you are going to be selling online, if you are going to be promoting competitive gaming, and if ultimately your concern could also lie in generating more revenue, which, to be fair, what company isn't trying to do that in microtransactions, I don't know where that leaves connected franchise. Any type of mode where you would go in and spend time building a team without purchasing other options. I don't even really know where that leaves Longshot, to be quite honest, because that doesn't seem to be productive toward either one of those. So it really is an interesting time to see where this game is going, and for the community, because at the end of the day, like it or not, the options we have coming are focusing themselves on gameplay and franchise, and that may not be the direction Madden continues to steer in. When I look at the competitive gaming on Madden, when I see these people, I did a breakdown a couple weeks ago, competitive Madden gamers, it's not simulation football. It's these guys running the same plays over and over to exploit the game. There had been questions brought up about why the fullback run was so successful a few years ago to the point that it had to be changed. There was issues with the quarterback sneak being so successful and so used in those league tournaments that it had to be modified. I did a very well-liked video on that earlier this year. I mean, make no mistake about it, the exploits the competitive gamers find in being the quote-unquote top Madden player ultimately devolve down to having the game corrected for each of us that play it so that our game doesn't function properly because they're the ones that are constantly exploiting this. The executives are seeing it on TV, questioning why this is happening, and then the end result is really for EA only to go in and break it. And there's no two ways around that. There's no arguing that. That is the truth. That is what's happened, and that is not the direction this game needs to go in, but apparently it very well may be. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you checking out. And you guys know I will be back in the week with more commentary.